You are listening to the Aging Starts Now podcast, where it's all about responding with confidence to the legal, financial, and personal challenges created by a disability, unexpected illness, or aging in general. Join us weekly as elder law attorneys Barbara McGinnis and Chris Johnson, along with other members of the Johnson McGinnis Elder Care Law and Estate Planning team, talk about the tools, techniques, strategies, and services that will make the elder care journey easier for everyone involved. Get ready, because aging starts now.
Do you know someone with Parkinson's? I'm Deborah King, a licensed clinical social worker and elder care coordinator here at Johnson McGinnis Elder Care Law and Estate Planning. Today we are talking about Parkinson's disease. Joining us for the conversation is Susan Bellisi, the development manager for the Tennessee-Kentucky chapter of the Parkinson's Foundation. Welcome, Susan.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me speak today on behalf of the Parkinson's Foundation.
We are looking forward to the information you're going to share. But before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this.
Okay, thank you. So my connection to Parkinson's is deeply personal, personal first. 24 years ago, my husband was formally diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's. And at the time, the only public figures we knew with the disease were Michael J. Fox and Muhammad Ali, who the struggles were widely visible. But we were raising our children in Bayside, Queens, New York, and we made a promise to ourselves that no matter what life brings, we will fight. And that's exactly what we did. So we immersed ourselves in learning everything and what we could about the disease. We became active members of the Parkinson community, including participating in the Unity Walk in New York. And our family raised over $100,000 during those years. It was a team effort. And unfortunately, Craig's other three brothers were diagnosed with Parkinson's. So it truly was a family effort. We realized early on how crucial exercise is in managing the disease. So at the time, I was a childhood educator, and in order to get all his needs from exercise class to physical and speech therapy, we were traveling all over the boroughs of New York. So I had to come up with a plan because the co-pays for all these therapies were ranging from $500 to $600 a month. Ooh. So I Googled free things for Parkinson's, and up came Parkinson Place in Sarasota, Florida, which is a community center which offers free classes for people for Parkinson's and their caregivers. I eventually became the director of program and member relations there, serving in the role for 7 years. But the journey continues. So 2 months ago, we moved here to Nashville to be closer to our daughter. And I was fortunate to join the Parkinson Foundation here. The Parkinson Foundation is an incredible resource. And I'm proud to provide the education, support, and community and critical research towards a cure. I'm deeply passionate about community outreach, so we thank you because people need to find the resources so they can live their best lives with Parkinson's.
Absolutely. That's an amazing story, and I'm glad it brought you to Nashville and to Tennessee. So tell us a little bit more about the Parkinson's Foundation, its mission and goals.
So the Parkinson Foundation makes life better for people with Parkinson's disease by improving their care and advancing research towards a cure. So you're helping those that are living with the disease, and hopefully they're trying to get towards a cure and then for future generations. We do this through a combination of community education, national awareness campaigns, local programming, and funds for groundbreaking research. And the motto is Better Lives Together.
That's amazing. And you certainly know that with the familial tendency in your family. And yes. I'm sure you worry for your children what that means for them.
Exactly.
Yes. So what specific services, if you're in the Nashville, Tennessee, Kentucky area and have Parkinson's, what kind of help can I get if I call you?
Yes, so we have a wide range of free services and resources. support groups, wellness programs. There's an access to a helpline, which the helpline is amazing. You can call there, and you will be, which is staffed by nurses, social workers, and PD specialists for any questions that you have. It's an amazing resource, and 32,000 people in this area, the Kentucky and Tennessee area, used it last year. So we're really helping a lot of people. We also help connect people by our printed and the digital resources, because it helps with managing the symptoms, caregiving questions, and also planning ahead, which we know we have to do. So we thank you for your service as an elder care lawyer. We're proud to host events through Tennessee and Kentucky, and we're especially excited because we have 2 upcoming Movement Day events. One is in Memphis on Saturday, September 6th, and here in Nashville, our Moving Day Walk is September 20th. We also have 2 centers of excellence, which means that not only do they provide care, but they provide research. And that would be Vanderbilt Medical Center in Nashville and UT Call Center in Knoxville. And getting back to the Moving Day, it's another way, it's a powerful way to raise awareness about Parkinson's disease. We support one another, everybody comes out. It funds these programs and services and research towards a cure. So it's more than just a walk, it's a movement for change. So for more information, you can visit our website, parkinsonplace.org. And if you want to be involved in the Moving Day, we encourage you to join or create a team, because the more people who get involved, the greater impact we have for individuals and families facing the disease together. So,
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
And I'll say it again at the end, but while we're in the middle here, tell us what the hotline number is.
Yes, so the hotline is 1-800-4PD-info, but the number version would be 1-800-473-4636.
Okay, good. And we'll say that again at the end for our listeners. So most of us know the Michael J. Fox story and the tremors as one of the signs or symptoms of Parkinson's disease. But what are some of the other initial symptoms or warning signs that people should be aware of or take seriously?
Yes, so this disease, everybody goes through differently. There is not one person that will do it the same, but there are general warning signs and signs that they may have. And there's a list, but you may have one, you may have all of them. So usually, like you said, the tremors or the shakings, but then it can go opposite. It could go, which is bradykinesia, which is the slower movement. It's the rigidity. The muscles become stiff and rigid. Then you may experience some balance or coordination problems. Then a lot of people notice there's a change in their handwriting. It goes very small. It's not like they used to. Also, their speech could be affected. They could be speaking much slower or very quiet, and people like, I can't hear you. And so that changes. And then they also get what's called masked face. So their facial expression may look blank. And many people in the beginning will say, someone will say, are you mad? And it's not. It's just that they kind of get a facial expression of blankness. Then there's the non-motor symptoms that we don't see, which could be depression. A lot of them have sleep issues, they have REM disorders, and constipation. And these appear sometimes even before the motor symptoms. So as time goes on, the symptoms usually get more pronounced, and then diagnosis may change, or it just confirms their diagnosis.
With all of that variety of symptoms, I bet it's difficult to diagnose.
It is. Now, my husband, his first was he got an internal tremor on his left arm. And he said that he would call me up because he was so young, he was working. And I was like, well, maybe you're drinking too much coffee, you're getting jittery. And so obviously as time went on, that wasn't the case. But that was one of his first symptoms.
What causes Parkinson's disease? Is there a single cause?
So there's not a single cause. So it could be a genetic factor, but it also is environmental. That's another factor. But they're learning more and more about it, and it's very interesting. And you can take a look on our website again, Parkinson.org, where they speak about how this all could be. But that's also part of research. So Parkinson Foundation is doing a research called PD gene or PD generation. And what it is to take samples from people that volunteer that have Parkinson's. And then they find out more from that information. So their research is going to be showing more and more in time where exactly the origin may be from.
Okay. So, if someone is starting to have symptoms or worries about it, where do they start? Who should they contact?
Usually people will go to their primary because they're not realizing at first what's happening. Mm-hmm. So the primary is usually the first contact, but the primary then will refer to a neurologist or a movement disorder specialist. Early diagnosis does make a difference, and that's also where you can go to our helpline for guidance and support. If you go to them and say, I live in this area, they can give you a list of neurologists, or like I said, you can go to your primary, but after that, you can look for a list of primaries by calling the helpline.
Okay. Do you have the numbers about how many people are diagnosed each year?
About 90,000.
Across the United States?
Yeah. So in the United States, there's approximately 1.2 million people. Their cases will rise based on a couple of factors. And one of the main factors is age. We're living longer. And because we're living longer, more people are being diagnosed with the disease.
Oh, so it's associated with it's age related sometimes.
Usually the average age is in their 60s. And it can go, obviously up, and like, again, everybody experiences this different, but it's mostly common in people starting in their 60s.
Is it more common in men than women? It seems to me I've had a lot of men.
It is. There's a higher group of men than women, but not as much as it seems. It's only by about 10%. But yes, it is definitely higher in men. Now, there is a school of thought that if it is from toxins, maybe their job reflected in their employment, maybe if they were in construction or in other fields that would expose them with toxins.
Mm-hmm. So living in Nashville and having Vanderbilt close by and the Parkinson's clinic, are there research and clinical trials locally as well as nationally that someone could be a part of?
Yes. So like I was saying, the mentioning was and if you can visit Parkinson.org research or call the helpline again, but they offer a service which I just mentioned before, the PD generation, which is a national genetic study that's free and it's available to people in the area. Either they can send the kit to you or you can go to one of the sites, and it's a little bit of a blood draw, not much. That's why you're able to even be able to do it from your home, wherever you are. So you don't have to be living in certain cities. You can be living in a rural area and still participate.
Okay. Let me ask you, both personally and professionally, caring for someone with Parkinson's, what's that like?
Caring for someone with Parkinson's is it's difficult. Like I've been a caregiver for 24 years. And again, raising a family and just making sure that as much as you can, that everybody is happy is a big job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a responsibility, and yet it's an honor. It's an honor to go through this journey with someone that you love and respect, and you're there all the way, because it does take a village and it does take a strong relationship to do this. And my husband and I, that's what we did from the beginning. We work as a team. But there's times where, he has progressed, and I would be doing most things. And, sometimes it's a struggle, but then there's other times where that you're doing the best that you can, and that you work hard and work together. And he keeps his disease at a certain level. And I think a lot has to do with what we've done through the years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So going back to it takes a village, developing your support team.
Mm-hmm. It does. It really, really does. And that's why we moved here to Nashville to be with my daughter, because I do need support. And
Mm-hmm.
she wanted to give it all the way. And, she was 12 years old. And I also have a wonderful son that's part of it too. Matter of fact, they're going to be at the walk with us, and, supporting the family all the way. So, it does take a village, and it takes a strong family.
Yes.
If you have, or just loved ones, or, even some of your greatest friends or people that you meet. It's amazing how many people are willing to help.
That's great. That's great. I'm glad you have that support. I understand that dementia can be a part of Parkinson's, and also Parkinson's can be confused with Lewy body or vice versa.
Yes. So, usually, while primarily the focus is on Parkinson's, there's a significant overlap with Lewy body dementia, which, especially in later stages of Parkinson's. Many of the resources and support we offer, so, for caregiver education and expert care referrals, are helpful for people living with Lewy body and their loved ones. So on our website, I did some research. So on Parkinson.org, if you search and type in Lewy body dementia, there's 49 results appear of all different articles and blogs and important information about the disease. Their articles are also in English and Spanish, which is wonderful. And then from there, again, going back to that helpline, they can speak to someone directly about the questions that they have about Lewy bodies and Parkinson's, and also the dementia that can occur.
That's good information. I appreciate you doing that research for our listeners. What kind of treatments are available for Parkinson's?
So one is when you visit your movement disorder specialist and you are diagnosed, they may determine what type of medication to try. And again, that's going to be, everyone takes that differently. The other thing is, we definitely know, it's research based, how important it is to exercise. And it could be any type of exercise. I usually say exercise the way you want, what you like to do, but try something new. There are so many classes out there. As a matter of fact, Parkinson's Foundation has some classes online, but there's classes around that you can do speech therapy online, you can do yoga, you can do dance, you can do Pilates, the list goes on. So by exercising, you're keeping your body moving. And with Parkinson's, you have to keep it moving. Otherwise you could progress, and otherwise you get stiff, the speech goes soft, you could wind up falling a lot, you could wind up having swallowing issues. So all those muscles have to stay strong. So movement is really, really key. The other thing that's key is keeping yourself socialized as much as you can. Seek out a support group. Seek out friends. Do what you can to keep yourself busy and social. Because if we're happy, we can fight this disease a lot better. Part of Parkinson's, which can happen, one of the non-motor symptoms is apathy. And apathy then it comes in, and then you don't mind if you stay home in the chair and move that clicker and watch another TV show, but that's not going to help you fight the disease. And also it could be upsetting to the caregiver because you're not doing what you can to fight the disease. So get out, exercise, socialize, and you can have a happy life with Parkinson's. You just have to work at it, fight at it, and know that you can do this, and life is going to be okay.
That's good advice for all of us as we age. I just did a talk on aging, and exercising and socialization are key. And sometimes those are the hardest things to get up off the couch and do. So it's good advice, whether you have Parkinson's or whether you're just on that aging line. So,
oh yeah, definitely. And don't be afraid to ask for help. This can get overwhelming. So reach out to family and friends or professionals early, and have patience with yourself, because it changes over time, but you can do it, and get your ducks in a row. I'm going to say, seek out elder care lawyers like you guys to protect yourself and your loved one, and plan ahead for the future. Because if you have that in place, and maybe you'll never get to that point, but it'll be there, and you won't be worrying, and now what do I do? Get your resources and everything ahead of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Susan, it's been amazing to talk to you. Let's leave our listeners with more information about how to find out about the foundation, the phone numbers, the websites, the services, and the movement.
So again, our website is parkinson.org, and know as parkinson.org. And you can find everything there from education materials, support, and local events. And you can call our helpline at 1-800-473-4636, and you'll speak to someone directly. And if you're in Middle Tennessee, I'd love to connect you to local resources and upcoming programs like moving days and community education events. And we are here to help you have a better life together.
And that moving day again is September 20th.
September 20th. It's September 20th, and that's a Saturday, and it's 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it's going to be great. It's going to be fun because it's going to be in the First Horizons Park, which is the Sound Stadium.
Yeah.
And there's fun for the kids. There's a whole miniature golf, and we're going to do a walk around the concourse, and we're going to have educational speakers, and we're going to have a DJ, and we're just going to have demonstrations of all these different exercises I was mentioning. Rocksteady boxing will be demonstrated, and the speech therapists are coming to do the different exercises. So it'll be a fun day, and it'll be an informative day, and a day that people know that they're not alone and that we can do this together.
And that information is available on the website, parkinson.org.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you would go on our website, parkinson.org, and in the search, you could put Nashville Moving Day, and all the information for that day will pop up. And any other day in Tennessee, Memphis will pop up, and we have Knoxville, Kentucky will be moving, all these. Memphis is actually September 6th. And anybody in that area can be joined. It's the same thing that we're doing. It's a different location, obviously, but a day that brings everybody together.
Wonderful. Well, again, Susan, thank you for sharing. That's all the time we have for today. If you know someone who is caring for someone with Parkinson's disease, who is looking for resources, share this episode with them. We do this podcast to be a resource. Johnson McGinnis Elder Care Law and Estate Planning is a life care planning law firm, and we help families navigate the care concerns and financial worry that come with paying for care. Join us next week for another episode of Aging Starts Now.
Thank you for listening to the Aging Starts Now podcast. For more information about today's show, visit tn-elderlaw.com, click on the Free Resources tab, and then click on Aging Starts Now. You'll find the show notes there. And while you're at it, why not check out all the free resources available at tn-elderlaw.com. Document downloads, the Johnson McGinnis blog, educational videos, informative articles, helpful links, a TV show, and more. It's all there, free for the taking. If you enjoy listening to the Aging Starts Now podcast, please subscribe, rate the show, or leave us a review. It's easy to do on whatever app you use to listen. We would love your feedback on the show. Aging Starts Now. We'll be back next week with more candid discussions about the challenges created by aging, disability, and unexpected illness.